Before you scroll away, imagine this for a moment. A plane is falling. Fire is everywhere. People are screaming, frozen in fear. And the last person you'd expect to become a hero stands up. A man with a dark past. A Hell's Angel. In the next 15 minutes, he saves 25 lives. But instead of medals, the FBI arrives. What secret was he hiding? And why did his past come back to claim him right after the rescue? If you love powerful, true-style stories about redemption, courage, and shocking twists, subscribe to the channel right now. Share this video with someone who believes people can change. And comment below with your thoughts as the story unfolds. Let's get started. The cabin was calm in that deceptive way that exists only before disaster. Seatbelt lights glowed softly, engines hummed with mechanical confidence, and conversations drifted like background noise. Michael Caine sat near the emergency exit, his posture relaxed but alert, eyes scanning without seeming to look. Years of surviving violence had trained him to sense shifts in air and sound. When the first unnatural vibration rippled through the floor, his jaw tightened. A second later, the left side of the plane shuddered, and a muffled boom echoed through the fuselage, snapping reality in half. Panic did not arrive all at once. It crept in stages. Overhead bins rattled, a woman gasped, a child began to cry. Then the aircraft dropped hard, stealing breath from every chest on board. Oxygen masks fell violently, swinging like lifelines no one wanted to need. Smoke seeped in from the rear, sharp and bitter. Screams replaced whispers. People reached for phones, for hands, for prayers. Michael unbuckled without hesitation. While others froze in terror, his mind narrowed to movement, exits, and time. He had lived entire years inside moments like this. A flight attendant struggled to stand, her voice shaking as she tried to issue instructions no one could hear. Michael grabbed her arm, steadying her, meeting her eyes. He nodded once, a silent promise. When another explosion rocked the plane, flames flashed outside the window, reflected in wide, terrified eyes. Somewhere behind him, metal collapsed inward, trapping passengers beneath twisted frames. Michael pushed forward against the current of fear, ripping open a jammed compartment, ignoring the heat biting into his skin. He dragged a screaming man free, then another, coughing but moving. The aircraft tilted sharply, throwing bodies against seats. Michael climbed onto a row, shouting commands with brutal clarity. "Stay low, follow my voice. Move when I say." His words cut through hysteria because they carried certainty. One by one, people listened. He forced open the emergency exit with a roar of effort, the door finally giving way as fire bloomed closer. The escape slide inflated, and he began sending people down, gripping shoulders, pushing hesitation out of the way. He counted silently, marking each life into chaos outside. Smoke thickened, turning the cabin into a burning maze. Michael went back inside after the last visible passenger, lungs screaming. He found an elderly woman frozen in shock and lifted her without thinking. A teenage boy lay unconscious near the aisle. Michael slung him over his shoulder. As the plane screamed toward impact, he staggered toward the exit, vision blurring, heat clawing at his back. He threw himself out seconds before metal tore apart behind him, the explosion erasing everything he had just escaped, but not the lives he carried with him. Michael hit the ground hard, rolling across wet grass as the explosion behind him swallowed the remaining fuselage in fire. The impact knocked the air from his lungs, but he kept moving, dragging the unconscious boy away from the wreckage before collapsing to his knees. Around him, survivors screamed, cried, and clung to one another in disbelief. Flames roared behind them, painting the sky black with smoke. Against all logic, they were alive. Michael looked around, counting faces, matching them to the numbers in his head. 25. Everyone accounted for. Sirens cut through the chaos as emergency crews arrived, their lights flashing like distant stars. Firefighters charged the wreckage while paramedics rushed to the injured. Michael sat on the ground, blood running down his temple, hands shaking now that the danger had passed. A paramedic reached him, asking his name. He hesitated, then gave the one on his boarding pass. As bandages were wrapped around his head, he noticed the black SUVs approaching, moving with quiet purpose through the noise. He knew what they meant before they stopped. Two men stepped out, jackets unmarked but posture unmistakable. One of them spoke Michael's real name, low and precise. There was no anger in the voice, only certainty. Michael closed his eyes briefly, then stood without resistance. Survivors watched in confusion as he was guided away. Some protested, others demanded answers. A woman he had helped screamed that he was a hero. The agents said nothing. The past had finally found him. In a quiet room hours later, Michael sat alone under harsh lights. The agents laid out photographs, reports, names he hadn't heard in years. They spoke of crimes, of blood, of a life he had tried to bury. Michael listened, face unreadable. He did not deny who he had been. He only said that whatever he was before, it ended long ago. Outside those walls, the story of the crash spread fast. Interviews aired. Survivors told their truth. A man with Hell's Angel tattoos had saved their lives. Pressure built quickly. Public support surged, drowning out the whispers of his past. Prosecutors reviewed files that had grown thin with time. Witnesses were gone, evidence aged and brittle. What remained undeniable was the footage of a burning plane and the testimonies of those who walked away because of one man. After 3 days, an agent returned. The investigation would remain open, but no charges would be filed. No applause waited, no cameras followed. He felt lighter, not free of guilt, but free of running. He left the city, took honest work, and lived quietly, carrying scars both visible and hidden. He never spoke publicly about the crash. He didn't need to. Somewhere, 25 lives continued forward, each breath a silent echo of that day. And in that truth, Michael Caine found the only redemption he ever believed in.